So it's XD Vandal DJ here, going over my review of the Fly Jumper or Powerstrider CZ series. I just received these stilts in a couple of weeks ago, and I've been given a 3-week test on them. But with this video, I just wanted to show you the stilt itself. Up here, we have a nice cuff. It's just the same with all the Powerstrider. It's padded. It works well. The interesting feature of this stilt is this new tightening mechanism here. It instead of using four Allen bolts, you just have a twist knob here that goes on the other side of the stilt into this wing nut right there. It just tightens down. At first, I was actually really cautious of this feature. I didn't think it would hold up well, but in about 2 weeks of solid use, it's held up fine, and I've not had to adjust them at all. I'm very pleased with it. Moving down the stilts, you'll notice that there's a radical change in the overall design. For instance, the new diagonal support beam right here that they like to call the support arc. It's a aluminum rod that goes from here down and bolts straight through the spring. Now, you also notice that the design has let the foot pad go out closer to the spring, leaving only less than 2 inches between the spring and back, which I guess is why Powerstrider felt the need to install a rubber stopper right here, so to prevent the spring from bouncing into this, which, if you couldn't imagine, would be pretty bad. I've actually had this stopper bust off on me during use, so that at least tells me that it is needed. I don't know how far back the spring flexes this way, but it did for surely get used. Now, another thing about this stilt are the bindings. Now, just looking at them on video and picture, they look really nice. However, they're not actually metallic at all. They're plastic. They just have a metallic paint job over the top of it. And the teeth, they're plastic as well, which is fine. Once you get them tightened down, they'll hold. They never slipped on me, but they're really, really annoying, especially with me. I have to fight to get this rear strap tightened because I wear size 16 shoes, and, well, they're big. Another thing I really didn't like is one of the most attractive features of the stilt is the removal of the foot pad, which makes it look really sleek and sexy. But in actual use, I found that it was, frankly, a little bit annoying because they did away with the support rods right here and the plastic foot pad, which in the past, in the stilts I've used, that has always been able to keep my heel centered perfectly right here. But now with the absence of that, my heel likes to slide from one side to the other. To rectify this, I'd imagine all you have to do is tighten this down really, really tight, and my foot wouldn't go anywhere. However, we come back to it being plastic bindings, and that being very difficult with this model. I found myself so many times becoming frustrated and sitting back down to readjust my bindings because my feet were suddenly feeling like I was walking like duck feet. It was ridiculous. Another aspect of these stilts that I do like is the fact that they did away with the metal housing here. It reduced a lot of weight, it makes it look a lot nicer. And also, instead of having to replace an entire hoof assembly, all you do is you take these little screws right here, you undo them, and you just swap out the foot pads themselves. Holds up nice. Overall, I like the stilt. I like the design. There's only just there's minor things I don't like about this design. It's mostly just in the construction and the materials used. Some of the bolts, they come loose really easy, like with the foot pads right here into the spring. I've had to retighten those about 3 times after a couple hours use. I've had to retighten these here that bolt directly from the support arc into the spring once they came loose. I've had this come completely off. This bolt right here that fastens it came loose. Other than that, the stilts, they work really well. They're really light. I love that about them. I can actually get a lot more height out of them. But do the positives about these stilts outweigh the negatives? It's really going to be up to in my opinion, the cost of the stilts overall. If they're priced competitively, I would say that these stilts are the way to go. No questions asked. If they're ridiculously overpriced, they're not affordable, I would say pass and stick with the other brands that are already out there with a well-established design. But yeah, that's the new CZ series by Powerstrider. It's the only one of model, and the model I used for this test had 70 weight springs on it. But if you have any additional questions, feel free to address them in the blog or in, wherever. Anyway, that's them. Goodbye.